I'm John Cornfield. I am passionate about soccer.
Hi, I'm Janine McCaffrey and I'm a comic book science fiction nerd.
What do you think defines a nerd?
Someone who's very passionate about whatever it is they're interested in, knows more about it than the most other people. Like, what comes to mind is like a comic book nerd, that's pretty common. Same with like video game nerd. I consider myself more of a music nerd.
I mean, I think every clique has their own kind of nerdy thing. Like, you could be a sports nerd, you can be an electronic nerd, and you can be any kind of, you could be a political nerd, you know?
I started playing officially for a team at the age of 5, I want to say. So when I was a kid, it was just like everyone in my grade was playing soccer, so I was like, yeah, why not? Oh, I'll just do what everyone else is doing. And so then it just kept growing and growing, and then as kids started like going away, I felt more connected to it, and I really noticed like it was a certain skill I had, and I really wanted to pursue it.
I got into my passion at a young age. I would read comic books and play video games after school, and on the weekends I always watched cartoons, especially Dragon Ball Z, and that opened the gate for anime, and after that I became obsessed with it. This is my room basically where I keep all things related to my passion. So over here we have a bunch of my anime DVDs, Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach, Fairy Tail, just to name a couple, and then we have memorabilia lining the shelves. If we come down here, we have even more DVDs, all of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, and some Dragon Ball GT.
I have to work out like 3 to 4 times a week, and that would be like an hour-long session in the gym, and then just practicing. You have to practice. I mean, in the area I'm from, northern New Jersey, it's the most competitive soccer area in the state, if not the Northeast. So we really got to keep up with it. I'm on the field as much as I can, so I go right after school. I've done time break on before school, like 5 a.m. practices. There is no time where I do not practice.
I would say my passion takes up a majority of my free time. If I'm not reading a comic book or a manga or watching 12 episodes of an anime in a day, I'm thinking about the next thing to come out or looking to talk about it with someone. In my closet, we have a bunch of my comic books, manga as well, so Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, Fairy Tail, Celestial Key set is in here. We have my Pop Funko collections, which is little chibi figures of different anime characters from different shows. There's Soul Eater, Dragon Ball Z, Fairy Tail, Naruto, Tokyo Ghoul, Bleach.
What do you think the definition of the term nerd is?
I guess somebody who's really passionate about something, really into it, much more than the average person is.
Stereotypically, what society thinks is a nerd is a person that plays a lot of video games, doesn't really go out, pretty much on their computer all the time, smart, glasses, the same old, same old. To me, I think a nerd is someone who's unique in their own way, special. I feel like everyone has a type of nerd in them. I feel like, nerds are great,
I would define a nerd as someone who's overly passionate about a subject, is really knowledgeable about that subject, and spends a lot of time involved in it as well. I definitely think the term nerd has changed over time. Back in the earlier days, nerds were seen as the dorky kid with glasses who wore pocket protectors, but today I feel that the term nerd is being more widely used and accepted, and people are being called nerds when they're just passionate people.
What is this?
Tentacle! Yeah!
I can tell you right now, my closest friends have definitely been the ones I've formed through all the teams I played on soccer. Like it gives you that like initial connection that really forges a friendship.
I think people typically think nerds isolate themselves from the outside world and spend a lot of time in basements playing video games. But in reality, this passion that I have has actually helped me become more social and make friends, whether it was in high school, college, or at conventions.
Yeah, I love going to the games. I'm a season ticket holder for the new team that plays in Yankee Stadium, New York City FC. And every time I go to Europe, which has only been twice, I've been able to catch a game there. I do wear jerseys to the games usually.
I like to attend a lot of conventions, whether it be Comic-Con or smaller anime conventions, and you'd really be surprised at how many people attend these things that share the same interests and hobbies as you. I also typically like to dress up in costumes of characters from my favorite shows as well. This is a cosplay I'm currently working on. It's Kanaki's Kagane, so it's basically red tentacles that come out of his back. So I will be attaching these to my back for upcoming conventions I'm going to.
Our coach came up to us and just like, okay guys, this is how our trial week's gonna go. We're gonna start at 5:30 in the morning with 2-hour fitness, and then we're gonna come practice at 4. So 5:30 to 7:30 all fitness, and then 4 to 6 we're just all playing. So waking up at 5 was definitely a thing I've been accustomed to for soccer.
The earliest I've gotten up for my passion is around 6 a.m. I had to get up early to get my tickets to go to certain conventions.
Do you feel that the definition of the term nerd has changed over time?
Absolutely. I think it's become more acceptable to be a nerd. I mean, just look around, like, superhero movies are big now. Star Wars is big again. Like, I think now it's become socially acceptable to be a nerd. Like, everyone's like, oh, I'm kind of a nerd. Well, like, yeah, I mean, I think generally, like, the idea of it's become less stigmatized.
Agreed.
Me personally, no, I don't really use the term nerd. I know some people do, but when I think of nerd, I think more like the early 2000 type of movies, like that dorky kid.
I've definitely been called a nerd a lot in my life. When I was younger, I used to get upset and embarrassed by it, but as I've grown older and more mature, I've learned to embrace it and not let it bother me.
Do you think that being a nerd is bad or good?
It doesn't have to be bad, you know, it's only bad if you make it bad, you know, and people around you, if they make it bad, well, they're obviously not, you know, maybe not the best academic students. Obviously the nerds are the smartest out of all of us.
I'm personally not embarrassed about playing it. I have my pride on my sleeve. Like I love playing it. I know other people don't like have any problem with it.
Some people consider it okay to like sports, but other passions or hobbies are considered nerdy. Is it the subject matter what determines whether it's nerdy or not?
Well, I think that, you know, being good at sports and into sports was always kind of something that was looked like glorified, which is the reason why it's not considered nerdy, even though it's the same type of thing. It's just, like you said, being passionate about something. So I think it's, you know, like a stigma. It's always been like that. You know, sports is something that everybody, like I said, glorified it, and, you know, being into video games is not.
I think sports are praised as more important than other passions because they're more widely accepted in today's society than comic books or video games. I think it's funny how people think it's okay to wear jerseys and face paints and giant signs to sporting events to show their pride, but yet they consider it nerdy and geeky when people dress up as, let's say, Goku and go to Comic-Con.
I think more people think that like sports are like the like a top level type of thing. Like ideally, like I think that people are more willing to accept sports than, like, for example, like a TV show or a game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like if you don't play sports, it's like, okay, well, what do you do? And like, there are so many extracurricular activities, but I feel like it's just like yeah, like you don't have a life. I feel like people still do think that though.
This passion definitely means a lot to me as it's shaped who I am as a person and has introduced me to a whole new world of people, events, and entertainment that I didn't know about before.
It's just like some stuff that I enjoy, like video games, you know? Like, just doesn't label me as a nerd just because I enjoy something that's nerd stereotyped.
It means everything to me. It's just like something, it's an activity I love doing. I've always enjoyed doing it. Playing it gives me the greatest pride I've ever received. I love playing it. It's basically my world.
I think the term nerd is bad when it's used to demean someone or to be derogatory. However, I think it's good when it's used to describe someone as an overly passionate person. So if we can teach people not to use the word to put each other down, I feel people would be more open to embrace and pursue their passions.